Holy shit.
All right. They definitely made that way more interesting than it had to be.
What a play.
Who the hell caught that?
Perryman. Wow. I can't believe there was nobody there. Like in the secondary, like the safeties were just long gone. There was nobody behind the cornerback there. Wow.
That's certainly a play call on defense.
Wow. Wow.
I put this up to a poll like a little while back. We're talking about like the best ways to end a game. It was like walk-off home run, like a buzzer-beating jumper, maybe like a long field goal, and then a walk-off touchdown. Walk-off touchdown came in last, but I was like, those are so rare that I think they got to be up there. Like if I was a Bucks fan, I would have lost my mind there.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen in exciting fashion because I feel like so many games end with a walk-off touchdown. You know, I mean, so same with walk-off homers too, but like I feel like you remember the ones if they happen in like the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or like it's some sort of epic comeback.
That's true. If it's like, I don't know, Jaguars, Broncos, I'm not going to care about it that much, but
yeah. No, wow. What were the other two? Buzzer beater 3 and walk-off home run.
And I think the other one was like a long distance field goal, either in regulation or overtime.
Nobody wants more robot tests, but we could all use more ways to people generally don't respect kickers.
Dude. Yeah, that's a platform I'm going to be running on in 2024.
I feel like I'd have to go. I feel like a buzzer beater is like no matter what, it's like exciting.
Yeah, that's true.
Walk-off homer, also very exciting. Like, I mean, shit. You remember those ones like Vasquez in the playoffs this year with the grand slam to end the series against the Rays.
Yeah. I think
I'll remember that.
One thing that's underrated about like the 3 non-basketball ones is that there's no announcer. There's no like PA announcer to be like touchdown Brady, like in the arena. And then there's also no actual buzzer. Like that helps make a jump shot pretty sweet. You hear the horn and you hear the PA guy going like Jason Tatum or something like that.
Yeah. What about overtime goal in like playoff hockey?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Because it has a horn involved, it's afterwards.
Yep.
Playoff hockey's like nuts. Everybody's like on coke. Like watching playoff hockey.
I went to my first game, Bruins game, probably about a month ago, and I was like, yeah, I'd like to get back. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Who'd you see him play?
Whoever Connor McDavid plays for.
Oh, the Oilers.
Yep.
What's up, boys?
What's up, man?
Dan?
We're recording now?
Yeah, we just did a cold open. A live reaction to the Bills Bucks.
Oh, nice. All right, cool. Did you introduce the episode number yet?
Nope.
I don't know what episode.
Take it away.
It's 148.
148.
That makes it even colder.
Yep. What was I gonna say? Justin Lang's in the building. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
I'm dandy, man. Good to see you too.
Good.
Happy to be back.
Good. Yes, happy to have you back. What a little 4:00 witching hour. The old 4:25 slates on a Sunday night.
Yeah, a couple wild games. Who was the other game that was just on?
The Bengals and Niners. I had no idea they were even in overtime.
That's right.
Oh, I thought you guys are both watching Red Zone.
No, I was watching the legit.
I was on CBS,
legit cast,
yeah.
the Romo cast,
The Nance Network.
Nance Network. Yes.
Speaking of Nance,
yeah.
Jim Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get to that. What was I gonna say? Any takeaways from some of the stuff in the NFL today? I only watched really the Cowboys game. I mean, we're recording this on a Sunday. We usually do Monday, so this will be out on Monday. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I've been in fantasy hell all afternoon. It's like, I don't know if Soapy told you, like the way our leagues come down, it's so strange. This is the last week of the regular season, and going into today, every team had a chance to make the playoffs. There's like four or five teams at I think 5 and 8, and 4 of those teams are playing each other. So that's naturally going to eliminate 2 and move 2 in. And then it comes down to point breakers, which are still like me and the guy I would have a point breaker with going into today. I was like plus 6 points. So that's going to be crazy too. So I was hoping to get a little Diggs action in the end. Well, it's tough because like I wanted the Bills to lose, obviously, but I wanted a Diggs touchdown. I didn't get that, but I'll take the Bills getting walked off by Brady any day of the week as a consolation prize. For sure. I've been watching it for far too long.
You can hang your hat on that at least.
I enjoy it. I was just thinking.
Are you in or out? Did you make it? I
still have. I'm down. So I'm down 4, 3 or 4. With he has Allen Robinson tonight. I have Packers defense and then the Rams kicker tomorrow. Something Gay. I know his last name is Gay, and he almost had I think he had like 20 something points like a week or 2 ago. So we'll certainly see. It could be all up to that young gay man on the Los Angeles Rams tomorrow night, for all I know. I don't know. So are you like texting him, trying to get him on the line? I see you fumbling with your phone.
No, just looking at my score.
No, just texting Nancy Reagan. Nancy Reagan's estate. Are you can still win, no?
I'm projected to lose by 28 currently.
Okay.
But I have a 5% chance of victory. So crazier things have happened.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A little miracle.
I'm down 33 with Kyler and DeAndre left, but he's got Van Jefferson and Sony Michel.
Oh boy, that'd be a tough out. Like a last minute Sony Michel touchdown. That'd be a tough one to swallow. And again, we'll get to Nancy Reagan shortly, but that would be a tough one to swallow, I think.
I can't get over it.
Yes, let's just get into it. But before that, real quick. So, anything new on your end, Justin? Anything new with the podcast or anything you want to talk to us about?
I gotta bring it back, man. I released one a couple of weeks ago.
Sure did.
Telling
Great story.
telling my Thanksgiving tale for the ages with my grandfather watching porn in front of me. As a teen.
That's all real. That's all 100% true.
100%. Hand to God, man.
Yeah.
I've said it. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I am recovering white trash.
Yeah. Right.
All right. A bunch of cars in the yard that didn't work. Alcoholics.
Nudism.
Dilapidated barns. Nudists. The whole kit and caboodle.
You've made like pretty big strides though. Before Dan hopped on, Justin was showing me a layout of his basement. There's nothing white trash about that place. So
not at all.
You've come far, my friend.
How long have you guys been on the recording?
Like a half hour.
Really?
Yeah.
No, my bad. I would have hopped on.
We didn't record the whole time. We just kind of sat here and watched the game. And
sorry about that.
Talked about ice cream.
How long have you been recording?
Probably like 20 minutes.
Like right after the Brady touchdown.
Okay, so I'll hear it for the first time tomorrow. That'll be interesting. Cool. Did you have any like weird like run-ins with the nudist thing as like a kid? Like was your dad like, is it just like a public nudity thing or was he like nude around the house?
Oh, he was nude around the house. Like he would have he would have just conversations about everyday topics with me from,
yeah, sure.
3-4 feet away, just hanging dong in the breeze. Just not like it got to a point like it was like I was living in like a fitness center locker room. Just like, the dudes will just have conversations in there in various states of dress. That's just kind of how I grew up with my dad. So
were other immediate family members nudists as well?
No, just him.
Like your mom married into, like she married him knowing he was a nudist.
Yeah.
Or was he a late bloomer? I don't know. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
No,
I don't know how this works.
That's a great question. I don't know how they get into it either, but they lived in Cedar Waters nudist colony in Nottingham, New Hampshire, the one that you see driving to and from UNH. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they lived there when they had me, and then they moved, and you know what they say, you can take the nudist colony out of the guy, or you can take the guy to the nudist colony, but not the nudist colony out of the guy. So
sure.
I don't know, for like pretty as long as I can remember, my dad would just walk around completely nude in front of me. Which is a bizarre way to live, but whatever.
I feel like it's like, aside from the psychological aspect of it, I feel like it's physically uncomfortable for your dad. Like
in the winter months.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking of sitting down to on a dinner table chair completely naked. I feel like that would,
on a leather sofa,
that would hurt
in the middle of August.
Yeah. Did you have dogs growing up?
He had a cat. No.
I also picture like those, like those old people couches with like the saran wrap around it. After like a 3 or 4 hour football game, just like tearing Velcro off, like when you're trying to get up.
Like with the things that you buy like a comforter in, like that kind of plastic, you just have to like lounge on that. Like what in the hell?
Oh, that's something. So I had a couple. Go ahead, Sophie. I have a couple questions, but you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say it'd be funny if he was nude all the time, and then when he showers, he puts clothes on.
Puts a bathing suit on, like Uncle Frank.
Puts on a
like
full
Tobias,
suit.
like Tobias Funke.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. Yeah. So Cedar Rapids, Cedar Rapids nudist colony. I've never been there, obviously. That's like a place where people live like full time.
Yeah,
I misunderstood. I thought it was like a beach, or like you just go there.
It's to
get nude.
Are there monthly dues for them to take care of your lawn?
Yeah, HOA fees.
I think it's akin to like a trailer park situation, because I lived in a mobile home for the first 8-9 years of my life. So
right.
Because they moved it off the lot there and onto a piece of land my dad bought.
Sure.
So he told me that because they moved when I was young, so I wasn't trotting around the nudist colony. But he told me that the only rule was if you went swimming, you had to be naked. Otherwise, it was like clothing optional. But in the summer, and these were not like the types of people that you want to see naked,
right.
That's how they get you.
Sizes, physiques. Yeah, exactly. It's a bait and switch.
Yeah.
You get to see nude people, but it's not the ones that you want to see. It's
right.
Fucking,
well, especially for you, it was like your parents, definitely not the ones you want to see.
Definitely not. Not.
So your mom wasn't a nudist?
No, she was not.
Strange. They must have really gotten along well. They must have been madly in love to get past something like that.
My parents' personalities were like polar opposites. I never understood their marriage. They got divorced when I was young, so they figured itself out.
Yeah.
But they were like polar opposites. To this day, I'm like, how did this work for how long it worked for?
We're at multiple days. Yeah. Let alone years. Very interesting.
So do you have memories of it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Of the nudist colony? No.
Yeah. Okay.
No. We moved when I was too young. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been back? To visit the old stomping grounds?
I drove by a few weeks ago and I stopped and took a picture with my son in front of the sign. and then got back in the car.
That's great. It's not one of those things where like you take them and knock on the door and be like, hey, like we used to live here. We're just hoping to come in and show my
see
son.
that? You see that, son? That's where your dad and your grandpa used to play catch, right over there.
All right, I promise we'll move on after this, and this wasn't in the rundown. Would like I'm trying to think of like normal everyday things. Like, would you go outside and play catch and you'd be wearing just a baseball glove?
Like doing yard work nude, like you're pruning your rose bushes, mowing the lawn.
Yep. Just wearing gardening gloves.
Dude, boots. Waking up and going to grab the newspaper like hard as a rock.
The Tony Soprano bathrobe.
Cup of coffee.
You still got Morningwood checking the mail. Morning. The Langs are up
the name
early.
of the community newspaper, the morning. The Morningwood Daily.
Mr. Lang sure is up early.
The Morningwood Gazette. All right. We'll move on. So thanks for anyway. I say all that to say this. Make sure you check out the How Can This Be podcast on all major platforms to get more of these great stories. But
this is the kind of stuff I bring to the table.
Well, you can hang a wreath on that thing.
Oh, what about no? Well, like Halloween, was like a door to door? You guys do trick or treating in the neighborhood?
God, I wish I had memories, man.
Because like, would you wear a costume? Would you like just have to keep like the parts that shouldn't be covered uncovered? Yeah. The one day a year everyone covers up.
You got a lot of people dressing like that blue guy from what's that show with the, you know what I'm talking about? What is it? Westworld, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know anything about Westworld. That is blue people?
No. What am I thinking of? The blue guy. I don't know.
Blue Man Group?
The Blue Man Group are very clothed.
Yeah. They're almost like too clothed. Yeah. They wear just like black turtlenecks, right? Or like black clothes. Yeah, I've never been to a show, nor have I wanted
Dr. Manhattan.
Watchmen.
That's what
Watchmen, yeah. Watchmen. Yeah, that guy is always nude. He's one of the first nudists in like the comic book realm that I can think of off the top of my head without doing any research prior to this. Do either of you guys want to run us through the weekend on twitter.com? And because you probably, I still don't know anything of really where it came from. I just know it's taken over the weekend, some of the Nancy Reagan stuff. Anyone
really don't know much about it either. I'll follow Justin's lead on this.
Okay. All right. So I've been doing the equivalent of like a true crime podcast, tweeting timeline of all the funniest things I've seen on this.
Perfect.
I gotta find that one that I sent you where it started. Oh, this girl tweeted out something snarky at Madonna's expense. It says, this is Madonna at 63. This is Nancy Reagan at 64. Trashy living versus classic living. Which version of yourself do you want to be? And it's got a picture of Madonna and,
provocative
stockings. Picture. Yeah, very provocative. And then like grandma Nancy Reagan with a hat. And then this dude quote tweeted and said, I know Nancy Reagan head game went stupid. And shortly thereafter, this guy responded to him and said, according to Kitty Kelly's biography, Nancy Reagan was renowned in Hollywood for performing oral sex. Just Say Yes, Nancy, in the days when she was Nancy Davis, was known to give the best blowjob in town, not only in the evening, but in offices. That was one of the reasons that she was very popular on the MGM lot. It must have made her very popular with Ronnie as well.
The late Ronald Reagan. Is Ronald Reagan dead?
He is dead.
Gotta be.
Very dead.
Gotta be dead. Okay.
He was like 1,000 years old when he was the president.
Yeah, he was old when he was in his prime. He had a late prime, old prime. So dude, I don't know actually. Who knows?
He almost got kablooied. Somehow he
missed it.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
He was so slow that he missed it.
Yeah, that would have been a big one. But yeah, that was I saw that Madonna picture. I didn't know where the whole thing stemmed from, but that, like you said, that article was relatively old, right? That like he referenced.
Yeah, I think
like there's a small group of people who know this. I guess the ones who just read the article, because it seemed like it was news to most people, myself included.
Yeah, like I guess I don't know. Is it one of those things you just don't picture, like the first lady?
I've never pictured
blowing the president.
Nope, or everyone else.
I mean, we know it wasn't the case with Hillary. Hillary wasn't blowing Bill. That's why he got into his whole risky business.
Sure did. Yep.
Okay, so now this makes more sense.
I guess, but it's still crazy how like viral this stuff gets.
Oh, it's
crazy, but now
viral.
I understand the order of like how these tweets went.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I thought the original tweet, that was from Ben Shapiro's sister, right? That was another.
Is that who that is? I have no idea. It's the account the account is classically Abby.
Hold on. That would just be such an odd wrinkle in the story.
Yeah, I don't understand
certainly
why
wouldn't be who I thought got this whole little thing started. Who threw the first rubbed the first two sticks together to get this whole little fire brewing over the weekend.
It feels out of bounds to just drag Madonna for no reason like this. Like, number one, she looks great in the picture.
Yeah.
Abby Shapiro slut shames Madonna using Nancy Reagan.
That's who it is.
Spoiler alert, backfires.
Yeah, I sent you guys.
People are so weird.
I sent you guys Miro's tweet. He was like, yo, you wanted to dunk on Madonna nipples so hard that you put Mrs. Crack Cocaine on blast for being a renowned cock flautist. SMH, hope you're happy.
Yep. That's what I mean. Like, I almost thought at first it was just like one of those, like a Brenneman thing, like really funny thing, but in a pretty small circle. Big fish in a small pond, pretty much. But then I saw, other people, like I saw like Jamil Hill. I saw, like you said, DeZeus and Mero. Who else? Tyler, obviously. Dragonfly, obviously. And then just other like random people in that type of media. But it is weird that it started from Ben Shapiro's sister. And people like that are weird. Like they'll just randomly, you know what I mean? Like people on that side of the equation. I feel like they just randomly like pick someone who is not on the top of anyone's mind, like Madonna, to make a point about something. Like I'm sure her end goal, well, I don't know anything about her, but if she's anything like her brother, I'm sure her end goal was to like make it a 10-tweet thread and tie it back to like abortion laws or like something like stupid or like Joe Biden or something. But it couldn't have gone in a better direction. Made for some good stuff over the weekend. It almost kind of reminded me of the Bernie Sanders. I think I said that, like the Bernie Sanders meme too. Like it just keeps, there's going to be gas in the tank, I think, for probably another maybe 48 hours. It's already starting to die down, but it's good. And at this point, I'm just looking forward to like some of our favorite like shows talk about. That's why I'm pissed. Like there's not going to be a fun report about it.
I know.
I'm sure like Jenkins and Jones will touch it, but
there hasn't been a day that I've been excited to be on Twitter like that in a long time. Like
for sure.
That's one of those days you like remember what you were doing when this happened. Like when you found this out.
Absolutely.
Which is bizarre.
Go ahead, sir.
So I was going to say this comparison isn't even fair to make for that Shapiro lady, because like comparing a 63-year-old in the year 2021 to a 60, we'll just call it two 63-year-olds, one from today and one from like the 1970s is not fair. Because that'd be like it's not evolution, but at the same time we have more like nutrition and exercise and shit like that, and I don't know, fucking plastic surgery. So that'd be like comparing like a 44-year-old Tom Brady in 2021 to like what Johnny Unitas looked like at the age of 44. Right. It's like a skeleton versus someone at the peak of their physical attributes.
Yeah.
Like Madonna still looked hot as fuck in that picture. And why do we have to shame her? Like, she looks good and she's not hurting anyone. Like, why'd you have to drag her?
Well, like you said, it's like the point of the post was I'm going to, for whatever reason, I want to shame Madonna. Now I just like, I think she's like, all right, Madonna's 63. Who's a recognizable woman who just looks like a normal old lady? Nancy Reagan, I guess. So I'll throw her picture in there. It could have been anyone on the planet because Nancy Reagan Nancy Reagan looks like what I expect a 60-year-old woman to look like in 2021. Like like at whatever time that was. Like when I picture a 63-year-old woman, I definitely picture someone more like Nancy Reagan than Madonna, but it's not like that's a negative on Madonna. It's not, it's like a pro for Madonna and then just a neutral statement about Nancy Reagan. Like you just look like a regular old lady. Actually, like she looks like a super nice old lady. I don't know too much about her outside of all this stuff that came over the weekend, but very, very weird. And I think what probably pisses them off, because I haven't checked, but I assume people like Ben Shapiro and I don't know, those people aren't like partaking in the fun of like making like Nancy Reagan cracks. So I think she's just like pissed, like I didn't get to take my initial takeoff. But I'm thankful for it nonetheless. Pretty funny. It was a big moment.
And it's like Madonna does this thing. Like Madonna does this stuff. Like this is old hat from Madonna. You like she's been insulted for years about everything. You think she gives a fuck what you think about her? No. It's ultra shocking when you find out that Nancy Reagan was, chugging a little COCK behind the trailer and in Hollywood in the 50s.
You think Madonna is worried about having a titty out on a Wednesday afternoon on Twitter?
Yeah. No.
Did she say anything, Madonna?
I don't even think she
on
knows,
any sort
to be
of
honest.
I don't either. I don't think she's on any sort of like social media, is she?
I don't know.
I think she's like,
I honestly don't know anything about her right now.
If someone told her, I think Madonna would be like, dude, I'm 63. I don't give a fuck about Twitter.
What do you mean?
If anything, this is like someone's gonna play Like a Virgin a few more times on Spotify.
That's true. She'll get some hits. Yep. That's a very good point.
And like she took this photo shoot on purpose. It wasn't like she accidentally took these pictures. Like, she knew like what she was doing. Like,
so not for nothing. That also drives me back to questioning what the initial point is.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Living versus crap. Like, I don't think that's a good example of what I'll say this. I'd be willing to bet I can find trashier looking 63-year-old women.
Yeah.
Picture of Madonna.
100%.
So I don't get it. I don't
just go in my phone. Hold on.
Right. I just Googled trashy women near me. Trashy women in my area.
I could probably find family reunion with me. Fuck.
Justin just moves his head to like a photo album behind his camera.
Like I'm a model on QVC presenting an item, an overpriced piece of junk.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm not a woman, neither of us are, but it's like if I had to take my pick between where I'd rather be at 63, I don't know. Just your run-of-the-mill old lady or someone cool like Madonna. Probably just live trashy for the next 30 years and see where it takes me.
Yeah, I'd rather live Madonna's life than Nancy Reagan's life.
Well, that again, like I keep like diving into this more. I think basically what the internet, just so I'm sure that basically what the internet did was just flip the argument on its head, right? It's like Nancy is trashy. Like this is what trashy living actually looks like. Because I didn't see a bunch of people come out and say Madonna did the same thing.
No,
piling up on old Nancy.
Oh
man.
Yeah, they were trying to like take a moral high ground and say that that Nancy Reagan was somehow a better person, classy, yada yada. And it comes out that she's the throat goat instead.
Yeah. Far from classy. Mrs. Shapiro. Take a look at this. It's pretty, it's nice little reboot for that author, whoever originally, what was it, like a news article or like a book? Some sort of tell-all?
I think it was one of those tell-all books. I don't know who Kitty Kelly is. She seems like one of those Hollywood people that comes around every so often. That's like, I have stories from 30 years ago about, I have some gossip for you 65-year-olds, that sort of thing.
I always like the idea of a good tell-all book. I've never actually read one. I'm not convinced anyone does, but it's just like you associate the names with who has a tell-all book. I might have to pick that one up. couple weeks till the holiday. It might be good stocking stuffer. Nancy Reagan tell-all. Like,
I think
I was gonna say, I'm trying to think of I saw them, Mr. T got some tweets going around. Ronald Reagan, obviously. Were there any other major players who put a name on their source, or was it just a bunch of unanimous sources?
Sinatra, old Blue Eyes. I saw a picture of him.
Big time.
And then I saw another. Did you see the tweet about him? That was kind of a separate issue. It was
Frank Sinatra? No.
Yeah, he was he was ashamed to have a huge hammer. Apparently, he was like, I think he said something like, I wish I was known for something more than this, or that people didn't immediately think of this when they thought of me, and it's
Frank
more
Sinatra?
of a curse than it is a gift. Yeah.
Oh God. I didn't know that till you just told me. I
Sinatra
associate with his I tend to associate him with his Grammy Award-winning music. Yeah, all those guys seemed really cool. Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Need a new Rat Pack 2021.
Yeah.
Definitely need a new Rat Pack. But yeah, I might I don't know. I might dive into some tell-alls. Who do you guys think would be the next one, or a good, or somebody you wouldn't be surprised, or maybe would be surprised to see a tell-all book leak? Because Nancy Reagan definitely was on my list into this weekend. And that one already existed for years, apparently.
No.
Madonna not a formal one, but there's a lot of notoriety around Madonna, right? Like people dating and sleeping with Madonna.
Oh yeah.
Carmen Electra, I think the same. Maybe it's just Dennis from people who've dated Dennis Rodman, like a Venn diagram of tell-all books and Dennis Rodman.
I'm interested in all in the men that Madonna dated, like Jose Canseco, Dennis Rodman. I feel like she's dated a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like famous dudes. I don't mean
sure,
whatever.
Of course.
But yeah.
I remember you guys remember the old ESPN or SportsCenter put out the graphic about Derek Jeter, and they made a 9-team baseball team of everyone he dated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was
Gold Glovers at every position.
Silver
Sluggers all over the field.
1 through 9, no easy outs in the line.
Yeah,
all in the span of 10 years too. Maybe
just a lineup of cleanup hitters.
Nothing but crank. Yep. Nothing but power.
Barry Bonds 9 times.
Yep. Intentional walks irrelevant because you're just gonna keep walking runs in. Yeah,
he really is the GOAT of that though. Off the top of my head, I can think of Mariah Carey.
Yeah, Alba.
Let's see,
Jessica Alba, Mariah Carey. I think Jessica Biel. Hold on.
Yep.
Let me pull up the old Jeets. Let me see if this is on this Baseball Reference site.
Yeah,
I think
Jeets.
Anonymous Hall of Famer.
Who was that lady on TRL? Vanessa Manillo from back in the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Also,
isn't that Vanessa Manillo's married to Nick Lachey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
She got a good resume too.
Scarlett Joe.
Yep.
Adriana Lima, Jessica Biel. Christ, so big I have to click on more items to expand it. Derek Jeter's top 10 girlfriends: Mariah Carey, Tyra Banks, Jordana Brewster. Oh, that's a girl from Fast and Furious. I didn't know that. Scarlett Joe, Jessica Alba, Vanessa Manillo. Oh yeah, I remember her. Adriana Lima, Jessica Biel. This is only 10 years too. I think he's still single. He's not married family man, is he? Oh,
I think he is.
Can't imagine.
Yep, my bad. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep. After a long and storied bachelor life, Derek Jeter finally fulfilled his dream to settle to settle down and tie the knot with Hannah Davis. Couple confirmed their engagement in November 2015. They're married in California, yada yada. Second,
I assume
daughter.
she's a knockout. That sounds familiar, but I can't picture
her. Yeah, I think he just tried to settle down with someone.
Dan's 7.5 out of 10.
I was gonna say, yeah, just 9s from here on out. Good for him. Good for them. And now he owns the Marlins.
Yeah,
tough life for him. What was I gonna say? Yeah, big Twitter weekend. It reminded me another. Or go ahead. Did you have a thought, Soapy? Before you forget,
just a real quick one. I think the phrase "MGM lot" was a pretty funny way to put it. I know that just means everyone in Hollywood, but just everyone in Hollywood. I think it's referring to the studio. But I just picture an actual parking lot or the physical outside a studio. As soon as you're done filming a scene, like Nancy Reagan's out back waiting.
She has like a trailer. Yeah.
Like she's just on every set ever. So I thought that was an interesting way to phrase it.
But she's just like a sweet old looking lady. That's what makes all the memes so funny. Because it's not like pictures of young Nancy Reagan. Or maybe they are. I think she's one of those people who's just always looked old. Like, I don't think I've seen a young looking Nancy Reagan.
No.
And isn't she like a very, like, she is a good person, no? Like, very, like, philanthropical person, or did she do bad stuff? Like, again, I don't know anything about her. Let's pull it up.
I think there's negative connotation with like the war on drugs from her and
Reagan. Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go. All right.
Hence the Jesus and Marrow tweet.
Yep.
That's right. Nancy Riggs. Let's get her on the Harbor One hotline here. Born in, oh, wait a minute. Enroll in 1967. Christ almighty, when was she born? 1921 in New York, New York. What a time to be alive.
Damn.
And Frances Robbins.
The roaring 20s.
Seriously, she was like a flapper in the roaring 20s.
Wow.
Good for her. God, this person. Yeah, she was
died like 5 years ago, right? Like she's like died pretty recently, I feel.
2016 at a ripe 94. Just missed out on this. God, I wish she was alive for this. That'd be so funny. Been terrible. She'd probably, I don't know how she'd feel about this.
And this
Nancy
feels
Reagan
like
claps
something.
back.
Yeah. This feels like something from like OG Twitter, like old Twitter, when it was just the Wild West. Now it's, people know what it is, but like back in the day, like this, it seems like one of those things that brings in, brings home the bacon, baby. Holy shit.
I understand the Just Say Yes Nancy nickname now. I didn't tie it to the Just Say No drug campaign in the 80s. That's terrific. What a great nickname. That's so good. Yep. Her husband almost got popped. One of her tabs on Wikipedia is her husband's protector. Reagan assumed the role of unofficial protector for her husband after the attempted assassination of him in 1981. On March 30th of that year, President Reagan and 3 others were shot. Hold on. She was escorted into a waiting room, and when granted access to see her husband, he quipped to her, "Honey, I forgot to duck," borrowing the defeated boxer Jack Dempsey's jest to his wife. What a great couple. Just a fun couple of parts. Keeping it exciting.
Can we get a date of birth and date of death on the husband?
Yep. Let me pull up Ronnie.
Because I want to know how many years she was left a widow to just suck
12.
every remaining soul.
He died in 04.
Oh, that's a good 14. That's a lot of time.
Damn.
So 04, that was 12 years from 94. So she was in her 80s. I don't know. That's late.
She had 12 years to get after it if she wanted to.
I'm more concerned, when did they get married? Because that was probably the heyday. That was like when Wilt was putting up like 30 and 40s. Actually, that's one whose timelines might collide, wouldn't it? I mean, if we're just looking at strictly a numbers game, I'm sure those two must have crossed paths at some point.
I mean,
based on the sheer probability. I don't know.
Okay,
he would have been 16 when she got married to Ronald Reagan. Wilt would have been 16.
That's true. I forgot how fucking old she was. Okay. That's a good point. She was born in literally 19. She was born a good 8 years before like the Black Friday stock market crash of 1929. In the Great Depression. She was a teenager during the Great Depression.
Okay, I have an interesting hypothetical then.
All right.
Yeah.
So then obviously she lived till 2016. So let's say the 90s was like the end of her peak. Who are some unlikely but funny people that she may have whatever? Because I'm thinking like Shaq and Nancy Reagan, Biggie. Thinking who else was big in it? Like Will Smith.
In what year?
Friends.
So what are we talking? Like late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah, 90s and the early 2000s.
Who did Nancy Reagan blow in the 90s?
Tom Hanks. He was big in the 90s.
Yeah, when Forrest Gump came out, I'm sure he did his tour. He did his
Snoop Dogg, maybe. Snoop Dogg seems to get along well with Martha Stewart from their roast experience.
That's a good one.
So
I'd actually
likes old
Snoop's
women.
probably the top candidate, I would say. That's a good one. I was hoping more people would come out. Like, she's dead. Like, what do you have to lose?
The three kids on Home Improvement, or Tim Allen too.
Tim Allen, yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Who's big in, who was big in like 05, 04, 05? The
Nelly.
Black Eyed Peas.
50 Cent.
She blew Will I Am.
50 Cent and Eminem. Derek Jeter. I don't know. A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Ben Affleck.
Yep. Leo.
Ben. Oh,
way too old for Leo. Never mind.
You think?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he goes after
he
the
was
30 and under.
Oh, she's too old. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
God, she's so old. That is so old. Would have been her 100th birthday this year.
Jesus.
Good timing. Way to celebrate the old triple digit birthday. Getting slandered all over the internet. She must have like living family.
I would think so.
It's weird when like you can tell someone's really old when they have kids that are like her kids, say she had kids when she was 20. That's young. 25, 75. Her kids would be 75 years old right now.
Yeah, so her kids don't know about this development on Twitter. It would have to be like her great grandkids that are like, thing. Damn.
That's usually how it goes. You see like Muhammad Ali's grandkids or like,
I
don't like Jackie Robinson's grandkids like just have to deal with all this shit because it totally just skipped a generation of his actual kids, of these like old ass celebrities' actual kids.
Imagine her like great grandkids in high school showing up on Monday and being like, we have to fucking deal with this. Like, we have nothing to do with this. And this is literally a 50-year-old story.
Right. Yeah.
Could
this woman was 90 when I was 3. Like, I don't really have much to say.
Could you imagine like some network had this Nancy at 100 like retrospective lined up right before this, and they're like, tune into the History Channel Tuesdays at 8 for the next 3 weeks. It's like, nah, it's all right. We already did that. We knew she blew everybody already. That's all we care about. a
10-part Last Dance-esque docuseries.
No, it's like at the end of the year, like at the Academy Awards, when they show everyone who's died the past year, it'd just be a scroll of everyone on her hit list.
Yeah, but it's
those
ones that are so long they have to like speed it up towards the end. So it's just still flying, and then it's so long they go to commercial break, so it just turns into like an ESPN ticker at the bottom of the commercial, like second round NBA draft picks.
Or they do the picture in picture where they're like, we'll stay with you during the break. It just keeps going on the side while like a Ford commercial plays on the left.
They got to hit the octabox at commercial break. Oh yeah, that's
the other interesting part, is that it's strictly focused on the oral aspect, but apparently she was still a lady by like other measures.
By those standards. Okay. It's classy living. I mean,
it was left vague, and I would like to think that that's intentional.
I think that might be part of like the Twitter thing. I think Twitter just took like the joking aspect of like the oral part of it and just said, let's just roll with this part. Like there's way more puns and stuff we can do if it's just this.
But we agree that it's probably more than just that, right?
Maybe, but again, I don't know how stuff worked back then. I think back then maybe that was considered. I know that, but maybe back then that was considered like, that was it for like, celebrity, like, miscellaneous stuff like that. We'll have to get someone old on who would know.
Are blowjobs considered classic now? Are blowjobs back? Are they retro? Are they back in style now?
It's like a pair of ones.
Yeah, right. It's like Pokemon cards. I don't know. I think this might be just what we need to get this economy back up and running. A nice retro, little retro from the Reaganator.
I saw somebody call it trickle down neconomics. I saw somebody call it that.
Yep. That's perfect.
They gotta bring back handies to fully get me in.
Yeah.
Over the pants HJs.
Yeah.
I just had a thought.
That'll take you back.
Yeah, I just had a thought. So we're talking about like the people that were talking about this online. I wonder like either one that's already happened or will happen, like the biggest media platform to like mention this, or like the biggest like network to like dive into this. Like, I don't think it's not going to be on ESPN or like
it might.
I don't think it's made the news. You think? Like showing something?
Because I saw Mike Golick Jr. talking about it. And I think Mina Kimes might have been in on it too. And I feel like those two
maybe like a morning
shows where you could bring something up like that vaguely,
that's a good point.
or at least allude to a reference about it. Maybe not.
Definitely. Definitely. If they're tweeting about it. I mean, if they're tweeting about it, that's more or less the same. I feel like now people just carry their tweets. So like if someone tweets about something and then goes on a talk show, it's like, you might not say it on the show, but I know how you said it before. Like Twitter is a public platform. Okay. Because I can't see it on like Fox News or CNN.
I could see Ryan Clark making a
60
reference.
minutes.
Going from referring to Belichick as God and comparing him to Nancy Reagan, the god of the throat.
That was
the throatus.
That was a really weird thing. I'm definitely looking forward to Pardon My Take this week, because they'll probably work it into every like quickest 2-minute replay or whatever it's called. It's I don't know.
Quickest 2 minutes was in Nancy's trailer.
Oh man, like I'd give anything. I'd like donate more to the Patreon to get like an emergency fund report, or like just have him like talk about this for an extended period of time. But that's the thing about like Twitter. It's like there's really not much you can do after you get the tweets off. I say that saying we've just talked about it for the last half an hour, but I don't know. It was a good time. At least it's one of those things where it's like, I was gonna say, like there's events where it's like I know anytime I log into Twitter, this is gonna be part of what I see within like a scroll or two.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. We can go ahead, Sophie. We can transition quickly.
Trivia question for a guy who may or may not have been involved in this. Do you guys know if Bob Barker is alive or dead?
Alive.
I know the answer.
I was gonna say dead, but I assume he's alive.
So Justin's right, and he's 98 years old. I just happened to look this up the other day, and I was like, dude, that guy hosted until he was like 90. I don't know, probably
pretty old.
Mid-80s.
07.
Past 65. So he must have had a really poor like 401k allocation and just couldn't retire, or just loves hosting daytime game shows.
Loves retail pricing.
Loves it. Do you guys know about I think it used to be, what was that TV show? I think it might have just been E-True. I'm sure you've heard of E-True Hollywood Story, but I think it was like another type of show like that, but focused on like scandals and stuff, which I guess E-True Hollywood Story does. There's one I remember watching as a kid about the Family Feud hosts, like the curse of like Family Feud. Do you know anything about that or have seen it? It started with like, you know, the old host was Richard Dawson.
Yep.
I know this was like my grandfather used to watch that. And he was the guy who'd like literally just like kiss every woman on the lips, like going like up and down the row, like talking to them.
Very hands-on.
I think he committed suicide. Then the next host, I think, committed suicide. And then it was Louis Anderson. And I think, remember, he went into like a deep depression or something. And I mean, Steve Harvey's just Steve Harvey. But game show host is a weird job because, like you said, if you're good, it's pretty good job security. Like you got it. You either have to die, like Alex Trebek and what's his name, Richard Dawson, those other shows, or 98's tough. Like when you turn 98, you should probably hang it up for health reasons. The
dude that's the announcer on Jeopardy, the guy that goes, "And your host, Alex Trebek."
Oh,
he's in his 90s.
Forever.
Johnny Gilbert's like 96 years old. He's still doing that.
Yeah. It's
I'm sure he doesn't have a stressful life, but
that's a really cool job because it's like you don't have the pressure and like you're not going to get, you know, the paparazzi, you're not going to get hounded like Alex Trebek. Like if I saw Alex Trebek in public, I'd be like, holy shit, that's Alex Trebek. But any bar you go to for the rest of your life, you can be like, yeah, I'm actually the guy who does the voiceovers for Jeopardy. And as soon as you say that, you recognize the voice, and then it's, you know, everyone,
you get like an Instagram with it. Yeah, you take an Instagram video of him announcing your name. Yeah,
Alex Trebek. Great voice, by the way. Great casting.
Yeah,
nailed it.
On a similar token, you know who I think I've been beating this drum a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
Who I think has a great life is Jeff Probst from Survivor.
The Survivor host.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, that show's
he just
still
goes
going,
to all these tropical lands. Yeah, he makes like $6 million a season or whatever the hell it is. He just goes around and yells at people to grab buoys and stuff. Like,
yeah. No, it's terrific.
It's a nice gig. Good gig.
It is.
Nobody talks about him. He's not like, he doesn't seem like a nefarious character, you know, somebody who's mixed up in a lot of stuff.
Dude, imagine it. Imagine it's like when a kicker has a bad week. So you bring in like a couple extras to like kind of light the fire under you. Like Gostkowski hits one off the upright. So Belichick then brings in a couple veterans to work out, but really it's to send a message. They do that to like Jeff Probst or Pat Sajak on Wheel of Fortune.
Yep.
Like, you called that letter out. You stumble over your words a little bit. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, but
they call someone from out. They activate someone from the practice squad and take first team reps in practice. Yeah, Jeff Probst is good because I think it's one of those names where as soon as you say it, it's not like, oh yeah, no shit, Jeff Probst. It's like a half a second of like, you know, registering in your head, and then you're like, oh, the Survivor guy, of course. Yeah. That's a great gig.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to like make any decisions. He just basically announces the decisions.
Yeah. Right? And he says, like, you know, Dan, the tribe has spoken, and puts out your torch. Yeah. Like, that's it.
Kind of similar to the Bachelor host. That's not a bad gig.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they do now since the other guy ran into his issues. It's just like a couple old contestants, right? Like Tayshia's season. That's the last one I watched.
And Caitlin Bristow are the two, like the two hosts, or have been the last couple. Jesse Palmer's doing the next Bachelor.
Oh, jeez. That's a weird one.
But like, those people don't do anything either. They show up,
live in a mansion, drink every night. They're on camera
for like 8 minutes a week. Like, they're not even like around.
Right. Yeah, it's a good gig, and it's almost kind of like how you like get into that. Like, you don't go to school for it. I assume it's like you start in like television production, and eventually a role opens, and it's like, hey, we're hiring for the host of a reality TV show. And like I said, once you get it, as long as you're decent and you can kind of make yourself a household name, it's pretty hard to replace you. Kind of makes me think why Aaron Rodgers didn't give serious thought to Jeopardy. I would highly consider that. If he's as visible as he is, I think Jeopardy is a much safer option. I'm sure his girlfriend or his wife would be fine with it. And on like an annual basis, I'm sure he makes less money, maybe, but he can do it for 40 years and like just be the Jeopardy guy.
Yeah, it would pay for itself. I think they offered him something like 10 a year. So it would pay for itself within like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years.
That'd be a crazy career split. Like 40 and 40, like 40 years, 40 years. Hall of Fame NFL quarterback, host of Jeopardy, like on the back, a front nine and a back nine, like type of split.
That's pretty good.
That would be very cool.
Who's like done the closest to that? Because there's probably like Barkley, maybe.
Sorry. Yeah. My male dog's trying to hump my female dog. Horny little bastard he is.
Hey, was there mistletoe laying around?
I don't know. Little freaking Max from the Grinch over here trying to hop on everything in sight. I was gonna say Jesse Palmer, but he wasn't a good quarterback. No. I guess that's it. Like, even like just media. Peyton might have a chance at it. Like, if this Manning cast thing is like a long running thing, and he could definitely do something along the lines of like hosting something media. And he was probably the best player to get into that role.
You're talking like, not like obviously like color commentators or anything.
I would consider like that too, but like, who's the best? Like Aikman, I guess, probably best career on the field and off the field.
Frank Gifford.
Romo's got a shot because the contract that he signed.
But he's not that good. He wasn't that good of an NFL quarterback.
I'm just talking
Troy Aikman.
He was good enough.
Money wise, money wise. I like if you could argue Aaron Rodgers was a top at a minimum 3 quarterback majority of his career, and host of Jeopardy might be like one of one as far as like hosting shows go. So that's got to be the peak. The only thing better would be like if Brady had a legit like media thing afterwards, outside of his podcast with Jim Gray or like whatever that guy's name is. was gonna say maybe Phil Simms, but he wasn't. I didn't think he was a great broadcaster. He was just famous. Oh, maybe Madden. I'd say John Madden actually. John Madden, Hall of Fame coach, and literally like the video game, the sports video game icon. John Madden might be up there.
Is a thought I just had that went through my head. Is Shaq angling to be the new John Madden? John Madden used to have his name on everything.
Yeah. Shaq is I think he's just too diversified at this point.
Yeah.
Like he's not known for any one thing. It's just he has hundreds and hundreds of things. Like I don't even know what's at the top of like his like billing chart. TNT, maybe, I guess. TNT in the general.
Depends on what day you ask him.
Like his tax advisor must be in hell, just going through all his like W-2s every April, like a stack, like just going down the line. Like here's your TNT money.
He's probably got
here's your general money. Yeah,
he's probably got like O'Neill and Associates, like an entire accounting firm or something like that. It must take a year,
literally, just to go through what he's paid in taxes for all of his income.
Yeah,
because off the top of my head, he must have at least 20. Like that's not even being sarcastic. At least 20 things he's a spokesperson, at a minimum, like a professional spokesperson for.
My wife was bewildered a couple of weeks ago. She's like, I know you saw that tweet I threw out with. She was like, I don't understand. Like, she's like, I admire people's work ethic. There's no reason Shaq needs to be out here doing this general commercial. Why doesn't he just like relax? And, enjoy his money rather than hang out on set at the general.
And that's the thing. Like, he's not like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are just like, quote unquote, like angel and like silent partners we don't know about. Shaq is very, very hands-on with everything he does. Like he is literally riding in a side-by-side with the general in television commercials. Or, you know what I mean? Like applying Icy Hot, like to his back on a commercial on cable.
He's the Papa John's spokesman.
Papa John's too. The egg, whatever that egg thing is. He has a life-size cutout at Staples of like inkjet printers.
Dude, he's gonna start endorsing things that I didn't even know you could market, like I don't know, like a law firm or something.
Yeah, Shaq and O'Neill and Associates.
Yeah,
he's gonna do the new Barry Feinstein commercials.
Did he have a reality show? I thought he did, right?
Shaq versus.
Yeah,
where he would take on other athletes in their respective sport, and just he'd have like a handicap. So I remember he tried to like outswim Michael Phelps. I think he golfed with like Tiger or something.
I thought he had more. I was thinking more of like just a family reality show. Maybe I was thinking Cribs. I know he did an episode of Cribs, and that's when the world found out his wife was like 5'5".
Yeah,
a lot of questions were raised.
His mattress was like the size of my house.
You remember I remember he had a circular Superman bed in the Cribs episode that I saw, which I didn't know. Again, I didn't know you can like have those made for you.
Dude, remember how sick his court was? The replica Lakers court?
Yeah, that was pretty sick. Yeah, I think you get to some people get to a point where it's like there's no limit on like what they can have. Like even if it's not something that exists, they know the person to ask to like make it exist, like Shaq's bed, or someone like what's that fucking guy's name? Like Elon Musk he can like probably make it himself, but can just wake up and be like, I know this doesn't exist, but I'd like to have one. And ideally by next Friday would be great. Like here's a blank check. I'd like to make this happen.
Here's another thought I just had. Do you think Shaq ever goes into space? Like, do you think he ever makes it into space at any point?
100%.
It seems like something that's up Shaq's alley.
At a minimum, he has the opportunity. He'll get invited. He'd have to like pass training to do it.
Like he's gonna do 6 months on the International Space Station with like some dude from Russia.
Yep.
I could see him being bored enough to go like study at NASA for like do an internship at NASA and then get like a honorary fucking astronaut's degree or something. I was gonna say he probably like owns a piece of the moon at his house. It just has it like a dinosaur egg, like the egg Chappelle. From Chappelle's show.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like normal at this point. I just think normal people going to space at this point is just like a money thing. Like, excuse me, like if you have the assets to make, I assume it's if you have the assets to make it worth NASA's time to send you to space, you can go. Because I mean, I don't think guys like who is the guy like Jeff Bezos and like those people just went to space one day.
Yeah.
And I think they it cost like billions of dollars, right? For like them to go. So again, it's like it's not something that's going to be pretty common.
They treated it like going to like the county fair and
No
like,
shit.
you know, taking the helicopter ride for $50 that lifts you up in the air and then lands again.
Dude, I would like to see Shaq just bullying other astronauts though. Like
messing with their oxygen bullets. And like his cliche laugh, like throwing the newspaper.
Yeah, they're like telling him to put on his mask correctly, and he's like, put on these like 4 rings correctly.
Yeah. G4 classification.
Just you dump the ball down low to the big man and let him dominate.
Him in like the Moon Man suit doing like the dance that he did with the Jabberwockies in the All-Star game in like 2007 when he was with Phoenix.
Oh, that's the thing. He's always been involved with like Nickelodeon, MTV, like major, like I'm pretty sure like every Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards, there was like an hour of just Shaq, like either getting slimed or like just doing funny things. But going back to the space thing, I remember when that happened. Was that this year?
Yeah.
At least this year, last year, the billionaires going to space. I remember that was another pretty funny, like those were funny tweets too, that day when they were going to space. But I remember I saw people would say like, well, like what's the big deal? Like people go to space all the time. Like astronauts do this, like this is some people's job. And that's when other people, and what I mentioned, I was like, yes, but like, they're like, why do they have to pay for it? Like people do this all the time. I was like, they need to pay for it to make it worth NASA's time to spend an afternoon sending fucking Jeff Bezos to space for no reason that will benefit the country whatsoever. That's why it costs a lot of money. Like they have to take time away from like their nonstop like process of making sure an asteroid doesn't crash into the earth so they can send Jeff Bezos to space for 35 minutes and then back. Like, yes, it's going to be pretty expensive to do that and to like justify that. I just picture like the scene in like Austin Powers, like when Dr. Evil's in space, like, that stupid like cliche ugly actor just like looking up at his boss, like clicking the buttons. You better see this, boss. Like, why do we need it? We literally had a whole mission control team making sure Jeff Bezos could go to and from space on a Tuesday afternoon. Like people who go to like literal rocket scientists spending their afternoon sending Jeff Bezos to space is so hysterical when you think about it.
That's just like ashtray money to Bezos. Like he'll make that by next Friday. He'll make that back. It's like, yeah, you just do whatever I want. I'm going to pay all you rocket scientists your market rate to send me to space for a half hour, one Simpsons episode.
Yeah, this is just a strange country. That's why I'll never understand, like, I'll never understand money, obviously, but I'll never understand things like national debt. Like when you go online and see, I think I saw something the other day, it was like with NFTs, like billions of dollars thrown around on NFTs. Yeah. And I'm never going to understand how those transactions take place, or like people actually buying stuff and like mining like cryptocurrency and stuff. It's just like none of this. I don't think any of this is really happening. I think we've been told our whole life that the United States is in trillions of dollars in debt, and it's obviously never going to get paid off. That's quite literally impossible.
Yeah, it seems like there's no consequences for it.
Right. Like, I don't know what, like, do they have like a monthly minimum payment? Like they get like collection calls on every month?
Yeah. Eventually,
like, going anywhere.
Eventually the citizens start getting billed like $2 a month, and it just adds up to
$26 trillion.
Shit, I got to make my
year 4,000.
my national debt payment this month.
Right. Like is the country like going to apply for a loan, and like this is going to hurt them on like a debt to income ratio or something? It's just very strange. I remember Mixtape talked about it for a while at one point too, and they're just like, they broke down by like country how much we owe, and it's like, yeah, like a couple trillion here, 33 billion here. And it's like, who negotiated these contracts? Like we come out on the losing end every single time horribly. Like this is life crippling debt for most families, but we can just make more money and just we'll just make stuff cost more, slower and slower over time.
Is there just like some guy named Hank at American Express? Like, Jesus Christ. The Secretary of the Treasury is dodging my calls again.
They have to send someone to serve a subpoena at the Capitol. Like Seth Rogen and Pineapple Express. Just go into disguise. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. Like, and it's not hard to audit them. This information's been public ever since I've been alive. It's like, you can just Google the U.S. debt right now, and there's your IRS audit. It's pretty public records. So I don't know. Like sometimes at tax season, I owe a few $100, and they're on my ass to get that in by April 15th or whenever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Trillion seems a little more extravagant than the $200 my wife and I owe, because I did my W-2s wrong when I was 16, getting like my first job.
Yeah, I think America is just on like a constant deferment plan or something.
Just constantly deferring their loan.
Always in forbearance.
Yeah. Just always stretching that pay cycle. It's like, what's his name? Fucking guy from Popeye. Gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Just stretching it for hundreds.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on an income-based repayment plan.
Yeah.
Wimpy.
Yeah. Anyway, I do need to log off in a minute or so. You guys can stay on if you want. Any closing things on your end? Anything you wanted to mention, Justin, since we have you? Where to find the podcast?
Yeah.
Shout out Cedar Waters.
Shout out to Cedar Waters. I hope they're doing well. I'm gonna have to log on to Twitter and see if they have a Twitter account and follow.
Oh, we'll give them a tag. Sure.
I'm in the process of changing careers. That's why the podcast hiatus. But you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm at jlang20 and at HCTBpod, and you can find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. How Can This Be podcast? So
love it. It's a very sports heavy episode today.
Yeah. Almost all sports, I think, actually.
More or less. Yeah.
Some balls were involved, right?
Yeah.
If I can just wear shorts, I'll check out that nudist park, because I have a friend who went there. Two friends, a guy and a girl. The guy went nude. The girl went wearing like a bikini. And yeah, I think you said this, Justin, but like, you're allowed to do that, but she was definitely yelled at.
Really?
Yeah. Like kind of
like tell her to like get naked.
More so like chastised. Like, this is a nudist park. So it's weird. I don't get how they enforce that. Seems I don't know if they have separate laws. Like it's Like, is that like how Washington, D.C. technically is like its own thing? I don't know.
Like they have an ambassador to like the country from the nudist colony.
They're just like pressuring her, like, hey, like, Hampton Beach is right down the street. Like, I don't know why you chose the like, geez, Louise. Like, maybe read the room. We're all naked. It's a nudist park.
So I'll check it out if I can wear shorts. Actually, it might just be fun to do that anyways and see what happens before someone just yells at us.
We'd like to do more like on-site reporting in 2022. Get like Soapy on the ground type of reporting, like Jordan Klepper or something. Yeah,
that'd be good.
That'd be good. There's our goals for next year. All right, well, let's log off. Everyone else, I'm going to assume no one's listening at this point. So we'll see you guys next time. Peace.